expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
And hello, I'm your host, Darren Hyme, and of course you're watching the one and only live interactive talk show bringing the best of the Bronx and the rest of the world right to you. First up, the CEO of the Bronx Clergy Task Force will talk with us about the upcoming Immigration and Health Fair. Plus, as the need for after-school programs increases, the number that will be available to children is drastically decreasing under the mayor's proposed budget plan. We'll have more on that report. And two organizations are coming together to launch a 2-year initiative showcasing the cultural history of the Bronx. Plus, Dunkin' Donuts has created a new campaign where they're delivering wishes to children all across the New York metro area. We'll explain. And finally, it's a photo gallery with a unique mission to find families for foster children throughout New York City. So stay tuned because all this and much more is heading your way because right now we're officially open. And hello, Bronxites. I'm your host, Darren Hyme. Today is Wednesday, April 18th. You are watching Open, the only live and interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York straight to your TV set. We encourage you to feel free to give us a call at 718-960-7241, or you can send us an email to open@bronxnet.org. We also want to let you know that you can hit us up on Facebook by searching under Open BronxNet Television and Twitter by following our page at BronxNet TV. And of course, if you always want to, you can catch us live from the website at www.bronxnet.org. Well, the Bronx Clergy Task Force, along with the New York City Police Department and the Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr.'s office, is hosting the Immigration and Health Fair, where the main focus will be the DREAM Act, a law that many people feel will benefit immigrant youth. But the question remains, will the act ever be passed? Here to tell us more about the fair is the CEO of the Bronx Clergy Task Force, Bishop Angelo Rosario, and Executive Board Member David Aviles. And we welcome you both to the show, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
As we know, the DREAM Act, in many ways, people feel will be a great support to the immigrant community. Your thought, first of all, and can you explain to those exactly what the DREAM Act is?
So the DREAM Act is one of the most important areas for our youth that are undocumented. We need to be able to find a way to get them in college and get them the help that they need. They come here at a young age. Some of them been here for the last maybe 19, 20 years. And they need to be able to get the help that they need with the government. Some of them want to go into the service. They want to go into the professions. And we need to be able to make them citizens.
So as we look here now in the Bronx is taking a very proactive approach. We know that you guys are working together with the New York City Police Department as well as Bronx Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. to ensure information gets to those who are of the immigrant population. And you have a fair coming up this afternoon, or this evening, I should say.
Yeah, we have a fair at the Hutchison Metro Center at 1200 Waters Place this evening from 6 to 8:30. There will be agencies from New York City that will be there, HRA, from HRA down, and they will be providing information to most immigrants. New York City Police Department is involved because the Community Affairs Division is involved. They want to get closer and more entrenched with the immigrants in the communities. So this way, there's a lot of crime going on within immigrant communities that they want to get closer to. They want to be able to relate to these folks and be able to tell them, come into the police departments because we're not here to deport you. We're here to help solve crimes also. That's another issue that's going on there beside the DREAM Act. And the health issue, which a lot of immigrants do not have health insurance and don't know how to go about it, and they have kids here and basically don't know where to go because they're afraid of being deported. A lot of immigrants may not show up tonight because they're afraid, But we've gotten the word out, and this is one of the ways that we're getting the word out so people can show up, because this is not about deportation. This is about the DREAM Act. That's the main goal, and health insurance, and giving them access to agencies out here that can provide help for them.
Bishop, you speak about the whole issue of deportation, and that's something that a lot of immigrants face. But every time we do a show here in the Bronx, when it comes on the issue of immigration, it seems as though those are the biggest phone call shows. We have to, shut people off because they simply. So there are a lot of people. What are some of the main issues that people are facing in the area of immigration that could really, be of assistance?
Well, they need jobs. They need health benefits. One of the worst things that I've found, a lot of people do not go to the hospital when they're sick because they're afraid. What happens if they're infected? They infect their families and they infect the community. So we need to be able to help them and become more friendly to them so that they understand that we're here to be able to help them. And that's the good thing about what I found about the police department at this particular moment. There's a lot of negative, but you got a lot of positive also. The police department wants to be able to be more friendly to the immigrants that are here. A lot of times when we come on and we're Hispanic, they think it's just for Hispanics. Now this is across the table for everyone. People from India, from Jamaica, from the Dominican Republic, from Mexico, and people come from all over the world. I just was talking to a couple of families that they're from Ireland, they're Irish, and they have the same need, and they live up in Yonkers. So the idea is, how do we get the information out there and maybe get them to become friendly? There are a lot of people that are abusing the immigrants. They don't get the right salaries. They work them overtime, and they don't get paid overtime. Some of them that are here don't know where to go and what to do. And there's that fear that's in everyone's heart in the home. Is my father or my mother going to be deported? What's going to happen to me? Some of these kids have been born here. You see, so they live in fear. We want to be able to find organizations. We have lawyers that are going to be there. We have political leaders that are going to be there to try to help and become a little bit more friendly to us. This country was made on the back of immigrants.
Speaking specifically to youth immigrants, how does the DREAM Act particularly affect or advance the cause for youth immigrants?
Well, the youth immigrants will be able to get the same benefits as everyone else. But what I found out that a lot of people are afraid that they're going to take the benefits that our citizens have. But a lot of these parents that are here, they're working 2 jobs to put their children to college and get them in school. They should be afforded the same benefits as everyone else. They've been here all these years. They need to be able to get the same quality education that everyone else has.
So, once again, today at 6 p.m. will be the opportunity for people to take part in this information and a health fair. Let's talk a little bit about who's invited, who can come.
Everyone's invited. I mean, basically, we're looking to pull in as many immigrants as we can. Immigrant families that have questions that are not answered. There will be a various amount of agencies there, again, like I said, from New York and from the state, that will be able to help on different venues for them. Jobs is another thing that we're talking about, and how we can really work them into some type of training. There's a lot of activity going on here in the Bronx, as you know, where people are looking for jobs. There's the Smith Electric that's opening up soon. There is the Fresh Direct that's opening up soon that the borough president's involved with, and all these jobs that are out here that basically are going to be thousands of jobs within the next couple of years. We want to try and get some of these immigrants to get some of these jobs and basically put them in mainstream of New York City. Right now, there is a push from all of us to get this DREAM Act passed because it's very important to all our immigrants. And I believe that it will be passed with all of the politicians that are behind it, everybody that's behind this piece. I don't see it failing.
We see it standing in the House now, and so it's just looking to get pushed through the House.
And that's what we're going to be doing, pushing it to make sure that it gets passed. I mean, this also gives a person a freedom, that they don't walk through the streets in fear that someone's going to stop them and they're going to ask them questions and they get deported. That stop and frisk is a terrible thing that goes on all over, and because of a person's ethnicity, they believe that they have the right to stop them. Now, when they stop them, they ask them, where are you from? If you're from Mexico or you're from Africa or whatever, now these people are walking in fear. when you're in fear, you want to run away from the cops or from whoever is there because you're afraid of getting in trouble. If we get this DREAM Act passed, those children will not have that problem. They will be a little bit more secure in the areas that they're in.
Well, Bishop Rosario and David, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us a little bit about this. We want to encourage our viewers once again, if you want to find out more information about this, it's taking place tonight, beginning at 6 p.m., 1200 Water Street. That is the Hutchinson Metro Center. We encourage you to go on out there today to find out more information in regards to immigration and health care. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
All righty, got to take a quick break, but guess what? There is more open coming up right after this. We'll return.
Your education is the key to your future. And if you're a high school student, your next stop is college. A college education gives high school graduates a competitive advantage professionally and financially. Without it, your job opportunities are much more limited. A college diploma is a necessary requirement for any successful tomorrow. So make sure you're prepared. Speak to your guidance counselor. Visit your local colleges. Your education is the key to your future.
Take my hand and start a brand new day. And together as one we'll start to see some change.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people. Connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? That zit is huge. Zit face. Ugly.
Hi, I'm Sean Johnson of the 2008 U.S. Gymnastics team. I'm here with our friends from VeggieTales to say, be a player, get up and play an hour a day.
Besides gymnastics, how do you stay in great shape, Sean?
I love to dance and rollerblade.
Cool.
You don't have to be an Olympian to be a player. Just do the things you already love to do, like jump rope, ride a bike, or even play freeze tag.
Now that's something to flip for.
Well done! For fun ways to get healthy, visit www.smallstep.gov.
Here on Open, Darren Jaime here with you. So glad to have you joining us. For the 5th straight year, Mayor Bloomberg is cutting child care and after school. In his 2013 fiscal budget plan, the mayor is proposing cuts to both child care and after school programs affecting more than 47,000 children. Since 2009, this number adds up to at least 90,000 children. Not only does this affect children, but the parents who are at risk of losing their jobs because they can't find adequate care to watch after their kids while they go to work. With us now to discuss this issue further is Youth Services Committee Chair for Community Board 7, Joseph Lee, and representing the Campaign for Children, Nora Yaya. And thank you so much for joining us here.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys are ultimately concerned because, as we said in the intro, a lot of cuts to children and services are being done. First of all, your response and how is this going to fall out?
Well, right now, hopefully, we hope that it will work in our favor. The Campaign for Children is working extremely hard trying to make sure that these budget cuts are restored. But looking at the Bronx itself, we're looking at potentially a 43% decrease in after-school programs, the closing of one Beacon Community Center, which is FIPS, which has already been announced, which serves over 1,300 residents of the Bronx. And we're looking at a decrease of almost 20% in childcare. So just in this one borough, we're seeing these huge, drastic cuts, and the effect and impact that it's going to have on families and children is going to be devastating.
Joseph, give us a little bit about what do you do now that we know that this is coming down the pike and the amount of people that are actually going to be affected. What's the game plan?
I think the game plan is to mobilize our community. I think there's nothing that's more powerful than just getting residents of the city and people who are actually benefiting from these services or could be benefiting, parents, children, people who are in programs, people who didn't know about these programs until they heard that they were being threatened, just to get them to mobilize, get out there, say that we feel that investing in our youth is incredibly important. We feel that providing child care for working parents is incredibly important, and just letting our political leaders know that this is not something that we will simply accept.
Given the fact that these huge cuts do stand on the table, what is the backup plan for many parents in child care agencies, given the fact that they could possibly be facing these cuts?
Honestly, the scary part is that there isn't a backup plan. After 5 years of cuts, right now we're down to the marrow. There's no more fat left. And so at this point, parents will either have to quit their jobs and stay home and take care of their children, or leave them in unsafe environments where they're either looking after themselves or you have an older sibling who's not as qualified. And then that only continues to impact the children's educational attainments. As you know, childcare and after school supplement what they learn in the classroom. So it's going to be pretty harsh.
So right now, mobilization is the key, and we're talking about getting people involved and stuff like that. What are the plans in works right now to really raise awareness and get people to the table on this?
I have to actually give a lot of credit to the Campaign for Children. I think that they are doing an excellent job in terms of reaching out to people through all kinds of media, through the internet, through their website, which is incredibly informative and which was very useful to my own community board. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. They're reaching out to local community centers and to youth programs and to all kinds of agencies and organizations and individuals who are just youth advocates throughout the city.
One tactic, if I can jump in, is having kids.
Yeah, I was going to go right there, right.
Having kids write letters to the mayor or to the government, as this kid did, about what they would do without their after school and how it would impact them. And I have right here almost 100 letters from children in after school programs, basically just stating, they don't know what they would do and how unfortunate it would be.
Well, this is pretty much a little summation right here. It says if there were no more after-school programs, I would feel sad. And this summarizes, and this is out of a youngster out of an after-school program, and she's got the sad face and got some tears rolling down her eyes. And literally, it wouldn't be just those with tears in their eyes, but obviously parents and administrators and the community, given the fact that there's nowhere to go.
Right.
So as we look right now, you've got this mobilization campaign. You're trying to get parents aware. You're trying to get the community aware. What's the feedback been since you've been engaging in this effort?
The momentum has been amazing. We've managed to get Speaker Quinn to actually make childcare and after-school cuts a priority in her budget response to the mayor's preliminary budget, which was just wonderful. We've also had a rally yesterday. We had at least over 500 people come out. About 12 council members or so speak out against these cuts. And right now we're just really trying to engage the people, the stakeholders, whether it's community boards or families or just local community members that are interested or that participated in after school and childcare as a child and know how important it is. So the next steps are hopefully getting some money restored in the executive budget, and if not, to keep fighting.
Where do people go if they want to participate in the fight?
Well, they can definitely visit the campaignforchildrennyc.org website. That gives all of the information that they would need. They can also there's a lot of different contact information there where they can reach out and say, hey, I want to get involved. And we have a plethora of things that they can do and volunteer for. In addition, social media has really been picking up, speaking out and just realizing that each person in themselves are advocates and advocates of change, and that they can really help us with this.
What do you guys say?
Well, I was just going to say, I agree that you can reach out using the Campaign for Children's website. There are a lot of resources there. I would also encourage people just to call their elected officials directly, call their local leaders directly. Certainly call your community board offices and let them know that this is something that's important to you people. Last night was Community Board 7's general April meeting, and we actually passed a resolution that essentially supports the Campaign for Children and states that we are publicly in favor of restoring the proposed cuts, and that we are publicly and frankly in favor of our youth, that we're in favor of providing them with opportunities that will allow them to thrive.
So when you look at it right now, the Bronx, you gave a good number, about 43% of things could be cut. How does the Bronx pale out in comparison to other boroughs across the New York City area? Are we more adversely affected, or is it pretty much the same going across the board of the city?
It's different in each borough. Manhattan is going to be impacted pretty hard. Brooklyn is a little bit worse off than you all. They're at about 60% loss in their after-school programs. And so the Bronx is hit harder because the unemployment rates are so high. And so when you look at the impact that it's going to have, not just on parents having to quit their jobs, but also program providers having to fire staff. You're looking at over 2,000 different staff employees that are going to lose their jobs come September if these cuts aren't restored. So the issue is larger than just the children and the families, but also the community that it impacts. And when you look at a Beacon program that's going to be closed, you know, they don't just serve youth and children, although that's a primary part of what they do. They also serve residents in the community that can go there and have a safe place to work out, et cetera.
Joe, how optimistic are you given the fact of what's been going on with the economy, particularly here in New York with the budget and the budget crisis? How optimistic are you about getting these, these funds restored?
I'm actually very optimistic. I know that budgets are certainly a politicized affair. There's a lot of wheeling and dealing that may or may not happen. But I can't imagine that given the response that we've had so far and given, frankly, the nature of the issue, given the importance of, again, investing in our youth, investing in our future, giving our young people a safe place in which to grow, I can't imagine that won't move people who are in charge of the budget to make sure that the funds are there.
Well, Joe, Nora, thank you so much for stopping by and sharing a little bit with us today. And of course, we'll continue to follow the story, and thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. We're going to take a quick break, but coming up, we're going to tell you just how Dunkin' Donuts is delivering more than just the best coffee. They're even granting a few wishes. We'll explain when we return.
And so the king ordered his men into battle. And even though he was no longer acting in their best interest, they followed obediently. But what if they didn't? What if they just refused? What if selfish leaders got no support? What if people had the courage to stand up when something wasn't right? What if the government didn't just serve a lucky few? What if it was designed and run for all the people, no matter what race, color, or creed? What if we didn't put up with anything less? What if?
You're really not that talented.
You're not attractive.
Too fat.
You're too short.
Too old? Why don't you just give up?
Give up. Give up. Just give up.
Your education is the key to your future. And if you're a high school student, your next stop is college. A college education gives high school graduates a competitive advantage professionally and financially. Without it, your job opportunities are much more limited. A college diploma is a necessary requirement for any successful tomorrow. So make sure you're prepared. Speak to your guidance counselor. Visit your local colleges. Your education is the key to your future.
Well, you know them as America's all-day, everyday go-to-stop for coffee and baked goods. But now Dunkin' Donuts is giving back to the community with their new charity platform, Wishes Delivered. Starting with a partnership with the not-for-profit organization Make-A-Wish, Dunkin' Donuts is kicking off a month-long campaign to grant the wishes of children living with life-threatening conditions. On the set more to talk about this new campaign and the partnership with Make-A-Wish is Dunkin' Donuts Field Marketing Manager Kathleen Chavanet and Vice President of Marketing and Community Relations at Make-A-Wish, Gabby Sappington. And welcome both to the show. Thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Thanks for having us.
Obviously, it's got to be a good feeling, first of all, to be able to impact kids, and particularly kids that are quote unquote could be in their last stages. Share with us a little bit about the partnership and exactly what brought this about.
Well, I'll begin.
We're very excited to be working with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and particularly the local chapters of Make-A-Wish in the Metro New York area. Dunkin' Donuts always looks for ways to give back to the community and partner with different charities. In particular, we focus on children's health and well-being. So this was a natural fit for Dunkin' Donuts to work with Make-A-Wish and grant some local wishes to children in our communities.
So share with us a little bit about the Make-A-Wish Foundation and those people who are actually the recipients of it. I mean, we see TV, we hear radio about it, but from your perspective, share with us a little bit about it.
We love to grant wishes. We love to grant the wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions because we know that they have a huge impact on the children's lives, on the families' lives, as well as on the community. And we are very grateful to all corporations, all groups of all individuals who support us in that effort to really make sure that all eligible children have their wishes granted.
What are some of the wishes that we hear from kids?
Oh, they range. They generally fall into 4 categories. They are either I want to travel somewhere, or I want to meet somebody, I want to meet my favorite celebrity or sports star, or I want to have something. I want to have a puppy. I want to have a new laptop computer, or I want to be somebody. I want to be a firefighter for one day, or I want to ride the ice cream truck in my neighborhood and give out ice cream. So the wishes come in, they're as unique and as special as the children who have them, and we're very grateful to everybody who supports us in granting them and helping to raise the funds to grant them, and who also help us in terms of raising awareness of the cause and how to go about applying for a wish and the eligibility criteria.
Well, talk to us a little bit how the public plays a part through Dunkin' Donuts, because obviously you guys are doing your own thing in addition to public support. How does the public play a part?
Well, individuals can get involved in a couple of different ways. One, we want to create awareness, and also we want to raise funds to be able to donate and help the children through the Make-A-Wish program. So individuals can get involved by going to our website, which is DD Wishes Delivered. By going to that website, there's some really easy ways that you can help out. One is follow us on Twitter, which is Dunkin' Metro New York. That's our Twitter handle. And by following us, every new follower, we will donate $1 to the Make-A-Wish program. And the other way is to like us on Facebook. So everybody should like DD on Facebook. And by liking us on Facebook, we'll donate another $1. Finally, another extension of the program is by going to that website, we have a gift card promotion. If you purchase a gift card of $25, and it's a custom Make-A-Wish and Dunkin' Donuts gift card, we will not only just donate another $1 to Make-A-Wish, that's for every card purchase, but we'll give you another $5 to come in. And who doesn't need $5 today, right? Come into Dunkin' with an extra $5, or you can take that extra $5 and you can donate it back to Make-A-Wish. So there's lots of different ways to help out and get involved.
And it's good to have a public participation as well as corporate sponsorship. We're seeing a little bit on the Facebook page right there. There you're seeing it. So we encourage you, if you go ahead and like it on the page, you will also be helping out as $1 is actually donated. So if you feel like you can't, you can't do anything, what you can actually do right there is what we just showed you. All you have to do is hit like on the page, and for every like,
we'll donate $1. That's correct. And every Twitter follower.
And every Twitter follower. So all of you who are socially networking and doing your thing, make sure that you hit them on Facebook and Twitter, and of course that will be a way that you can actually help kids to actually make a wish. How many kids are we talking about in this area?
Well, we in the Bronx, actually in the last fiscal year, we granted 89 wishes of Bronx children living in the Bronx, and this year we're in like a little bit over half of the fiscal year, and we already granted 88. So there will be more children from the Bronx who have their wish granted.
So last year as a total you did 89, and it's only halfway over and you've done 88.
Yes.
Wow.
And we are, as I said, we are committed to granting the wish of every eligible child. On a national level, the foundation grants around like 13,000 wishes throughout the United States. And we are here with this partnership, we're reaching 5 chapters. So there's in the Metro New York area, There is 5 chapters who grant the wishes locally and who will be supported now through Dunkin' Donuts and everybody who loves coffee. So
Yeah, and there's a whole lot of people out there
Exactly.
like can't do it without the Morning Joe.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of a take on the reaction, because a lot of times we see the reaction of kids, it's just literally it blows you away, brings you to tears.
Right.
The fact of seeing a child's wish granted. But can you give us a little bit more of an insight as to what it really means for those kids to just be able to have that wish granted?
Oh, it means so much, and it has a very lasting impact. It goes way beyond the one moment or that 1 week of where the wish is granted, if it's a travel wish. It has, we just, one of the wish kids that we had from here, from the Bronx, Robert, who had years ago, he had wished to meet his favorite actress from the program 90210. And he remembers to this day, he's now in his 20s, successful, wonderful young man, and he kept saying, I remember sitting there in Los Angeles and being on the set and thinking, if this is possible, then everything is possible. And so his wish became really a turning point in how he approached his treatment, how he was all of a sudden, it empowers kids to feel more energetic, to have a more positive outlook, and it touches not only the child but the family. Everybody is affected by it and touched by it, and that's why wishes are so important. We just recently, actually on a national level, conducted a wish impact study where we asked members of the medical community what are their observations when they experience children having their wish, and it was an overwhelming response of saying that it is so important to have a wish granted, and it's part of the medical treatment in a way. We had one wish dad once saying that, the doctors treated my daughter's body, but Make-A-Wish healed her soul.
Wow.
And that is what we're hoping to do and what we love to do.
So you've got the company, Dunkin' Donuts, you got your employees taking part, you've got also, the public playing a part in it. And so, in addition to Make-A-Wish, I know you guys are involved in a lot of other things as well. Why don't you give us an opportunity to share a little bit about some of what Dunkin' Donuts is doing outside of just donuts?
Well, other charities that we have partnered with currently and in the past are local food banks, backpack programs for children, children's hospitals, again, really focusing on the well-being and the health of children in our community, as well as hunger in the community. Those are really important focuses for our community foundation.
And so Make-A-Wish Foundation is partnering with, well, I should say Dunkin' Donuts is partnering with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We want to let you know, as we said, if you're watching the show right now, you can go on to the Dunkin' Donuts page and like them. $1 will be sent. Also, hit them up on Twitter. You follow them on Twitter, and guess what? Another $1 will be sent. And you can actually play an active part in this whole Make-A-Wish thing and making a child's wish come true. Where do people find out more information about this? Well, both of you.
First off, at Dunkin' Donuts, again, our website is DD Wishes Delivered. So you can find out all the information and the ways that you can participate and donate to be involved in the program.
Alrighty.
And for Make-A-Wish, there's a national website that is www.wish.org. And if it's here in the Metro New York area, then it's www.metrony.wish.org.
All right. So how long does the campaign go for?
1 month. Yeah, till the end of April.
Okay, so you got 1 month. Get busy, get cracking. Thank you guys so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you.
And best wishes. Of course, you got to come back and give us an update and let us know exactly how things work out, okay?
We will.
All righty, well, we're going to take a quick break, and guess what? We're going to have some more open coming up right after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Mom, I'm not going to go to college.
What are you saying? You've got to go to college.
Well, they offered me a job, and...
Son, college is much more important.
No.
Yes.
No, Mom.
Yes.
Anyways, it's my decision.
Okay, well then decide what degree you're going to get, because you will go to college.
Their tomorrow depends on your words today. The Hispanic Scholarship Fund has the information you need to help your kids go to college.
Be free. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice.
Charles!
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Your education is the key to your future. And if you're a high school student, your next stop is college. A college education gives high school graduates a competitive advantage professionally and financially. Without it, your job opportunities are much more limited. A college diploma is a necessary requirement for any successful tomorrow. So make sure you're prepared. Speak to your guidance counselor. Visit your local colleges. Your education is the key to your future.
Hey, how's it going?
Sir, are you okay?
What? Oh, this? It's probably nothing. I'm sure it'll go away.
Go away? But, sir, that can't be good.
No, it's cool, really.
Do you want a napkin or something?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this. So why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately. Because time lost is brain lost.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Heart Gallery NYC is a not-for-profit organization teaming up with award-winning photographers and the city's administration children's services to create portraits for their kids in foster care. The mission, to raise awareness for the over 13,000 New York City children in foster care and help them find the forever family. Here to tell us more is the executive director of the Heart Gallery, Lori Sherman Graff, and also with her is Wallace C. and Grace Pope from the Catholic Guardian Society, one of the organizations that they actually partner with. And thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So obviously we're talking about raising awareness for foster kids, and there are a lot of kids that are out there in the foster care system. A little bit about the foster care system and how you're trying to make kids make that healthy transition.
Well, there are about 14,000 children in foster care in New York State, and we are an agency that has about 1,000 children in our care. Of those 1,000, there are about 400 being followed in the adoption track, and of that 400, there is a percentage, and not a very large percentage, of children that need a forever home. And working with the Heart Gallery, we've been allowed to do matches and make sure those children have forever homes.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us about this, because the Heart Gallery is partnering with this endeavor. Share a little bit about your collaborative effort.
Mm-hmm. The Heart Gallery, what the Heart Gallery does best, I think, is raise awareness and also to recruit families for the kids. And when we work with a great organization like Catholic Guardian Society and Home Bureau, it takes our mission a step further. So we're not only raising awareness and getting the kids noticed, because so many people don't realize that foster kids can be adopted.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, we also recruit families to join up training classes, free training classes, so they can become certified to adopt or foster. We also find families to mentor the kids too.
Mm. So Grace, share with us a little bit about this process, because there's a lot of kids, as we said, that are out there. You said about 400 actually go into actually find homes, but there's between 13,000 and 400, that's a huge disparity.
Well, the children that we focus on with the Heart Gallery are the children that don't have pre-adoptive placements at this time. So we're opening them up and getting them to see new families and hopefully see that there is a possible match for them. Every child deserves permanency in a home, and I think with our collaboration with the Heart Gallery, we are getting a large portion of children to see and open up to that idea.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So we've got a little book here, and I want to go through the book and just share a little bit. There are some pictures of some kids on the front, and this is a little bit of the collaborative effort that you get to actually see. Share with us what we're seeing here.
Those are beautiful pictures of beautiful kids. One of the things we're luckiest and very fortunate is that in New York City we have amazing photographers. And we get photographers, oftentimes celebrity, notable photographers, and what's beautiful is they donate their services. So they could one day be out shooting Brad Pitt, the next day shooting our kids for free. and they make it a wonderful experience. And if you look at those images, you can see that what it's showing is those are kids. They're just kids. You know, kids like my son or someone else's son or someone's cousin, and they're beautiful and they just need love and a family.
If people were interested right now and they're listening and they're watching, what information do they need to know? Because a lot of times there's a lot of barriers that they feel that they have to go through in order to be able to be a part of this process. Walk us through a little bit about who's eligible and how they can play a part.
Well, most people are eligible. They have to go through a very stringent screening process in order to become a foster parent with the hope of adopting. We do have some people from the community that have come to us that just want to adopt, and they make that very clear, so we study them and screen them for the purpose of adoption. I think one of the things I would like to note is that the face of foster care has changed. I've been in it for many years, and it was much younger when I started. As I got older, so did the kids. So we're looking at looking for homes for children that are older teens who bring a lot of baggage and need a lot of care, and some of them have special needs. So if I were going to send a message out to the community, that's the kid that you're going to have to foster and adopt eventually.
And to add to that, I think that there have been many positive success stories of people who have just opened their mind to the idea of meeting a child and just getting to know a child. And you don't know from there, we've seen so many success stories of children finding that match, that person who really opened their heart to them. And, you know, to this day, there are adults coming back to us saying, you know, thank you for giving me a chance. Thank you for, not giving up on me. And I think, working with the Heart Gallery and continuously looking for prospective foster parents, that's what we're doing for our kids, and that's what we hope people see, and we'll just call us up and we can start from there.
And I know you say about the Heart Gallery and these photographers, and obviously it's got to be a good feeling to have photographers who are just committed to a cause such as this, because they take pictures, they're professionals, as you said, they could be out doing something else, but really the cause of foster care. Share with us a little bit about that and the the intentionality of people really wanting to be involved in this effort.
I think that a lot of people, realize that these are kids, whether they're teens or whether they're younger, they're kids, and they need love and they need a family. And the photographers like to be involved, as I do, and all of us work with a passion with what we do, because we just want to help the kids. We want to help them get a chance to have a family. And as Wallace said, many of the kids are older, but there are people, I'm a good example, I'm an adoptive mom. I've had the baby. I don't need a baby. I would adopt an older child. Now I don't have the time right now, but there are families out there that do want older kids, and that's what we want. We would love people in the community to reach out and say, yes, I want to adopt an older child.
Is there a lot of challenges, for a young person going through the situation where you're looking to find that permanent place, but yet and still haven't found that stability? So maybe bouncing from a place to a place to a place. What are the challenges like for children, or can you explain a little bit about, the difficulties of just not being able to find that permanency?
I think sometimes what it is a child is testing a parent to see, well, how much are you gonna, give me? Are you gonna give up on me? So sometimes it's almost as though the foster parent has to be so aware of what the child's coming with the trauma that they faced, and being open to understanding that this is a process. There's a honeymoon period, there's a period of getting to know the child. And when the child finally feels really fully accepted into that family, a lot of times you see that positive change where, okay, this person is for real, they're not going to give up on me. So those are a lot of the success stories that we do have. But the older teens are definitely a little bit more challenging, but we're very supportive. We have post-adoption services at our agency, so there's a lot of follow-up. It's not just, we leave you there and we're done.
Yeah, I think that's what some people say. Okay, now I've got a child, and now I've already walked away. Now, there's no how-to manual on this right here. Given the fact that some of them may have had children before, but yet and still going through this process has got to be a little bit more of a unique one than having your own naturally.
And we do offer a lot of supports to a family that comes forward to adopt a child of any age, because the child entering care is definitely going to be bringing some baggage that has to be dealt with. And so we offer specialized services through our agency in terms of a specialized placement where there could be 2 social workers assigned to the case, and that kind of thing. So we hope our parents never feel alone throughout the process.
And as you look, if you get an opportunity to see, there's some beautiful pictures of some beautiful children, and hopefully as you begin to find out more information, we've given you some information throughout the course of the show and actually dropped it there on the screen for you that you'll be able to see. Hopefully take part in this. Now, if parents are interested, if there's a prospective family that's interested, what's the process from here on? Because now they've seen it on Open. Now we want to open our heart and do this. What do we do?
They can go to our website. It's cgshb.org.
Okay. And so Hearts for Galleries, what do we do?
If they want to see the children and the beautiful photos, and then we can refer right back to Catholic Guardian for the training programs, they can go to www.heartgallerynyc.org.
Okay, well, we want to definitely let our viewers know that you can definitely play a part in this. And so, are the numbers, is there a decrease or an increase as the years continue? Are we seeing things better? Or
they're getting better, actually. Okay. The number of children in the system is decreasing on a daily basis. We'll find a permanency through adoption or returning children to the community in which they came from.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us here.
Thank you.
On Open, and thank you so much. All right, well, when we come back, we're going to hear from Casita Maria Center and their organization. You don't want to miss that when we return. Take care.
Your education is the key to your future. And if you're a high school student, your next stop is college. A college education gives high school graduates a competitive advantage professionally and financially. Without it, your job opportunities are much more limited. A college diploma is a necessary requirement for any successful tomorrow. So make sure you're prepared. Speak to your guidance counselor. Visit your local colleges. Your education is the key to your future.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone. But you're not alone. At iava.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. iava.org. We've got your back.
When it's time for lunch, a sandwich is a quick and easy choice. And with the right ingredients, it can be good and good for you. So I'm here today to see who can build the ultimate sandwich. All right, when the time is up, our judges will give you their scores. Ready, set, go! Okay, Jason starts out with a multi-grain roll. Ooh, Allison's stuffing her pita with, yes, spinach, a great source of iron. Jason isn't skipping on the protein, adding plenty of smoked turkey, just like Allison's putting the finishing touches with crispy red bell peppers for a dose of vitamin A. Time! It looks like we have a tie. We'll need to call in our special guest referee.
Now these are what I call quick, delicious lunches. Whole grain breads, a whole variety of ingredients. There are so many different ways to build delicious, healthy sandwiches. These two get high marks in every category. I'd say you're both winners. America.
Let's get healthy together.
And welcome back here to Open. The Casita Maria Center for Arts and Education and the organization Dancing in the Streets will launch the South Bronx Culture Trail, a 2-year initiative engaging artists, community members, and scholars in developing physical and virtual trails, connecting known and lesser known sites that played a major role in the rich history of the South Bronx. The launch will be a part of There Is No Place Like Casita alumni and community celebration taking place on April 26th. Here to tell us more about it is the executive and artistic director, Mr. Bobby Sanabria, no stranger, I should say, here to the show. Program director, Marta Rivera, and executive director of Dancing in the Streets, I should say, Aviva Davison. I said seats, but streets.
That's good. It's all good.
It's all good to have you.
We're
Thank
also
you.
doing performances on seats.
Oh, yeah, in seats. All right, that's good. At seats and the streets. Yeah. So you guys have to be excited about this.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, as you actually said, it's the Culture Trail is a 2-year project, and Bobby can talk a little bit more about the rich cultural history of the South Bronx, but you probably know that the amazing Latin music and hip hop started in the South Bronx.
That's right.
And the first year will be, the trail of the first year will focus on Hunts Point and Longwood. And we are asking people who are watching, if any of you either live in the South Bronx, came from the South Bronx, or know about the South Bronx, to recommend sites. We already have selected a few, like the homes where Orlando Marin and Dave Valentin and Tito Puente and Eddie Palmieri lived as children, the school where they practiced when they were teenagers, where they played stickball, Hunts Point Palace, which is now a Duane Reade, and Casa Amadeo, which is still functioning. But we want more, and we also want to celebrate the community and the families that nurtured the musicians. Right. So if there is a grandmother or a mother or a sister who cooked for musicians or went dancing with them, or if you met your husband in at Hunts Point Palace, we'd like you to email us recommended sites and why you're recommending them.
Because there is a rich history here when it comes to the Bronx and culture, and particularly in the Latin culture, a huge rich history.
And this is why on April 26th, we're having a launching of this trail, and it's a free event, and that's the best part about it. But it's an evening event, and it's a Thursday evening, and we implore everyone that's watching to come to the event to join us in mapping out our trail. We need community input. That's why we're here.
And Bobby, obviously a lot of artists are going to be taking part in this as well, and you're one of them, so share a little bit about this.
Well, the evening is going to start out with some representatives from the Bronx, from the Borough President's office will be there, and but really the main part of the evening is going to be some great dance music provided by an all-star band that Casita Maria has put together of some famous alumni from this great organization, people like the great band leader and timbala player Orlando Marin. The band will also consist of myself, Angel Rodriguez, who's a fantastic musician educator, the great Ray Martinez, a fabulous bass player who's, one of the reasons I'm mentioning this is that the band makes up really what the South Bronx is today. Ray Martinez is of Dominican descent, but he's played with all of the great salsa legends here in New York and abroad. Enrique Hanene will be playing piano. He's of Lebanese descent, but he's from Mexico. And he's played with Orlando Marin for many, many years. The great Gene Jefferson, who's Panamanian, will be on alto saxophone and flute, and myself. And it's going to be an incredible evening of great dance music. And the best part of it is that it's free. And we're going to recreate the dance hall culture that used to exist in so many great dance halls, catering halls, etc., in the South Bronx that night at Casita Maria.
So as you have this event, obviously with the dancing and the music that's going to be flowing, it's a part of the part of the cultural history. Tapping into that and really bringing that to light. Talk about the initiative of why you wanted to do this and why you felt this was so important.
Well, I think Dancing in the Streets is a 28-year organization that commissions and produces site-specific work, which is work for places. And our work always draws on places and cultures and communities. So we don't just do dance in a theater, but we try to do something that reflects the place. And we moved to the South Bronx a year ago in January 2011, and we're a company in residence at Casita Maria. And we have the experience of working with communities to draw on the cultures of the communities. And Casita Maria is rooted in the South Bronx community. And I don't want to speak for you. You can talk about how you were during the fires and all that. And with the musicians, many of these musicians went there as children. So we collaborated on a project that pools our different expertise and connections. And there is nothing richer than what we're discovering. So it's just the most exciting thing in the world.
And as you mentioned, a lot of your alumni is all grown up now.
Grown up, and the majority of them are from the Bronx, although we have alums in all the boroughs and I think in all the states of the United States. We have a list of a lot of alumni, but this is a dual, 20 under 26 is a dual type of concept. We want to launch the trail, but we also are looking for alums. We've lost contact with a lot of alums, or we don't know where they are. So if any alums are listening, get in contact with us. We'd love to hear from you. We want the alums, we want the community to be involved in this project. It's very important to, I think, to the community itself. I'm on the community board number 2, and I was a Casita kid. And while the Bronx was burning, Casita Maria was an oasis that stayed. Church stayed, Casita stayed, community board was there. So we're all in collaboration. We're working on this project to make it work, to make it the best. And the goal is it'll be community oriented for now to our specific community, but in the next year it will expand to other communities as well.
As an artist, talk to us about this, because you know, being this home and being around and seeing something of this magnitude, what does it mean for you as an artist, first of all, to be able to give back, and then second of all, to be able to be a part of such a rich legacy?
Well, the main thing is to reaffirm that the community of the South Bronx has this rich, majestic history that most of the people that live in the community now don't really know.
Right.
The demographics have changed in the South Bronx. We don't just have Puerto Ricans and African Americans living there. It used to be the vibrant Irish community, Italian community, Jewish community, but now there's a vibrant Dominican community, a vibrant Mexican community, there's a vibrant African community there, and other ethnic groups that have moved to the South Bronx. What we want to do is show these people that, you know, you might think that this neighborhood represents just low income housing, but really it represents a majestic history that goes way, way back, that this young lady here has lived, and I lived also. I'm still a resident of the Bronx. I'm very proud to be a native son of the Bronx, and proud to still live here, and I still go back to the community like I'm doing now. And it's a great honor to be asked to be the musical director for this great event. So it's a free event. It's Thursday. It starts at 7 p.m. And we'll look, as Elaine said, excuse me, as she said, we're looking for alumni of Casita to, and I guess you can give an email and a phone number where they can contact.
Sure.
Yes, if people could email me, and I think, I don't know if you have it to go on the screen. It's A. Davidson, DAVIDSON, at dancing. It's very long. I'm sorry.
No,
Dancing in the Streets with a G.
Right here?
Is it on the?
There you go.
Yes. .org, and on the subject line, please write trail.
Okay.
And do we have a minute to talk about other programs that will be part of this, just to mention them?
Got 30 seconds.
Well, there will be other programs. There will be a walking of the trail. There will be a mural, a block party, and there will be in October, and again, Bobby is going to be the music director of that, an amazing work which will be a procession through Hunts Point and Longwood. And we need volunteers. If you live in Hunts Point or Longwood, and you would like to be part of this procession project, there are ways that you can be part of it. Please email me and I'll give you more information.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming, and best wishes. Hope the 26 takes off.
And we hope to see you there, hopefully.
Yes, and it'll be a musical success. We know that too. And we hopefully a community success as well. Thank you guys so much for coming to share with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, stay right here. We're going to take a quick break, and after that, we'll be returning. Well, actually, we're not going to be returning. We're actually going to take a break for a little while, because guess what? Show's over, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been a pleasure coming into your homes, and we want to thank you, the guests, for joining us, and we want to thank all of them, but also we want to thank the viewers for tuning in. Now, you can tune in tonight for the re-cablecast of Open at 10 p.m. on Channel 67, Verizon Fios, channel 33. Now, if you want a brand new, fresh episode of Open, guess what? Come back on Friday. My girl Rena Valentine will be sitting in this seat. Well, not this seat, but one that looks like it, 10 a.m. And you can catch a brand new, fresh episode of Open. Until then, we encourage you to keep your hearts, your minds, and your channel wide open. Darren Jaime saying see you later.
Your education is the key to your future. And if you're a high school student, your next stop is college. A college education gives high school graduates a competitive advantage professionally and financially. Without it, your job opportunities are much more limited. A college diploma is a necessary requirement for any successful tomorrow. So make sure you're prepared. Speak to your guidance counselor. Visit your local colleges. Your education is the key to your future.
Exactly. Yeah, we're thinking of a second line.
G Morning Sunshine.